Yes. Another kid mistakes nicotine lozenges for candy or mints. One more easily overdose. Doctors describe dangers of kids using prescription drugs to get high. And so that's why it's important for parents to know that they need to put these medicines up and away. Lock it up in a safe place where the kids can't get to it, because some of them do it accidentally, but then some overdoses are taking place on purpose, So it's just so beneficial to have that knowledge, to protect yourself and your family.
Well, like you know me well, and I have my stories. And,
I love your stories, Pastor.
When I was a little bitty boy, my first cousin said, "Here's some chocolate," and she knew I love candy, and that chocolate happened to be X-Lax. I had no idea. I'm just following her because she's almost 2 years older.
Yes.
And so I consumed what I perceived to be it was nasty. I said, this is nasty. And by the time I got back home, that night, my mother had to rush me to the hospital because the X-Lax.
It started working, huh?
Oh, Lord, was it working? My mother was just standing. I could never get, in the middle of the night, we were in the hospital, and she was just like, what is going on? My cousin, and she admitted what she had done. And for years, they remind me of that.
Right. And so that's something that I share with them all the time. I said, it may be a friend, it may be a relative that may offer it to you.
That's correct.
Do not take it, because I remember Skylar, my oldest, when he was in middle school, on the school bus, some kid just offered him some random pills. He said, here, take this. So he declined it, but the little boy next to him said, here, I'll take it, and took it, and just started acting like, oh, I feel so good, But just taking something randomly, it was like, the kids need to have in their mind, this could hurt me. This is dangerous. And so we say, we don't touch medicine that we see.
Well, one of the things I found to be true, especially when it comes to medication, is that it's better to be administered by somebody who has been studying the field, that has some pertinent knowledge about how it works, how it reacts. Yes. Because I know you can express it better than me, but I know some medicines may not work well for patient A, but it'll work great for patient X or Z.
Yes.
But the key is, keep working until you find a solution.
Yes.
And so I'm fascinated because I've gone over the book and we've donated some to our children here.
I appreciate that.
And so, what other experiences has this opened the door for you since you've been doing it? Produced the book, written the book.
Right. So it's taken me into a whole new world that I never thought I would be a part of. But I was just going to sell the book on Amazon and, see how much you can sell.
Right.
But it's so needed in the communities. And now I'm being linked and connected with nonprofits.
Wow.
The library is on board now.
Fantastic.
Because everybody sees a need in the community. And so it's just gone to another dimension or another level or another area that I didn't see it going in. And so if we can get the nonprofits and those organizations that work, especially with the underserved communities, get them to buy and purchase the books so they can distribute those to the kids and the families that they serve, it can get into more households so we can save more lives.
That's extremely important. Saving lives. Lives are very important, especially when it comes to children.
Yes.
And, and I always refer back to Nancy Reagan. It was a simple thing she said, but they laughed at her, but it's the truth. Say no to drugs.
Yes.
And if this is not properly prescribed, because even though if it's properly prescribed, there can be some adverse actions that come from it, but then we can work through it if we work together.
Right.
And so in writing the book, the doors that are opening up for you. So Are there other books that's going to come out, or are you not ready to talk about that yet?
Oh, no, I'm already working on the next book.
Wow,
Yes.
that's phenomenal.
Actually, I'm enrolled in Dr. Sharon Elliott's author. It's called Masterclass. It's for authors or people who want to write books, or they've already written books, and it's just to improve upon your craft and really learn how to get a book proposal together and get it into what do they call them? The publication houses, the publishing houses. And so in that, I'm working on the next book. So I'm getting some help on that, just to improve upon, what God has already given me. And so I'm excited. And in the book, I'm going to stick with Dr. Yo-Yo. And so it'll be a series.
Right.
And we're going to stick with the music theme. It'll be more music to come.
Fantastic.
So, yeah. I am working on another book.
Well, I'm honored. I'm excited about it, because there's one thing to speak. There's another thing to have the ability to write it and make it come alive to you when you read it.
Right.
Because, that just really fascinates me. Because I'm okay speaking.
Right.
But then when I start to write, I'm like, oh, Lord, I got to go back and put the do and the do's and all like that. But I applaud you for having that gift. And so I celebrate that. And for such a young, adorable young person to have that ability, we celebrate you here
Thank you.
The Prevailing Faith.
But I did have help. I have an amazing editor. So it's a team effort. And it just really helps the book come to life when you have the right people on your team.
And so right now you're on tour giving exposés about your book. I think that's hilarious. Because I'm going to tell you this. I love telling those stories. When we met Dr. Yo-Yo some years ago, 20 years ago, she just sit and observed. Little did we know she could sing, she could arrange, she could write, and it just amazes me that when somebody allows God to use them, like God talks about in the scriptures where they had a talent and they dedicated the talent to God. One had 5, one had 2. And they dedicated to God, and their talents doubled. But one buried their talent, and that talent never went anywhere because they buried it. And this is what I applaud about you and your whole family. Your husband, my brother in the Lord, the Lieutenant McElroy. His talent has been writing motivational exposés about how to deal with children coming from a law enforcement point of view.
Right.
Because this is something we all have to do. The children are in trouble. We're in trouble.
Yes.
But God is the only one that can answer that.
Yes.
Because I've heard politicians, well, we're going to build more prisons. We're going to do this. The truth be known, the only way you can change a human being is if you can get God into their heart.
Yes.
Because for me personally, I did not change. And you couldn't change me until I was willing to let God come into my heart and let him rearrange my heart, and God helped me think better. So now tell me about, I believe I know your publisher.
Yes.
He's a dear friend of mine. I'm going to go ahead and let you say his
The
name.
dynamic.
Come on now.
Pastor Dennis Hamilton.
Stephen
Hamilton, yes. He has really helped bring this book to life. You gave me his information when I was going back and forth trying to see how I was going to get this book published. You shared his information with me, and when I contacted him, I still prayed about it, and I felt led to go ahead and use Pastor Hamilton's services. And I'm telling you, we went on a journey to get this book published. We're still friends. But he was amazing. connected me with some amazing people like Dr. Elliott, the editor. She's also an author of many books. Dr. Hamilton? Pastor Hamilton has books out there as well that you guys need to check out. But he has been really instrumental. God used him to help me get this project out there and get it done.
You know, that's a beautiful word. I love